Okay, what you're looking at here is a 2017 Kawasaki KLE 300, otherwise known as a Kawasaki Versys-X 300 is sometimes tagged on there. This is the ABS or anti-lock brake model. MSRP 5,600 bucks and 300 and some destination charge at any rate. You should be able to pick this bike up with a fairly decent amount of accessories, which aren't installed on this one yet because they're back ordered, for under 7,000 bucks. I have had this bike for a little bit over a week now, and thought I would just get some quick information out there because there's not a whole lot out to be had. I started looking at bikes to go riding with some friends of mine. They have primarily, off-road bikes. The main one is the KLR 650 Kawasaki. That bike is a little bit taller than I would like. I'm 5'8", 183 pounds, and the seat height on the KLR is a couple inches higher than this one. The ground clearance is a couple inches lower on this bike versus the KLR. But overall, I just felt like this would be a better fit for me. And so I started digging up information. Couldn't find much. But anyway, based on what little I did find, I ended up purchasing this bike here. I've got 380 some miles on it, I believe. We'll see exactly when we turn the key in a minute. But I'll start out with a couple of things that I would like to see changed or worked on, at least through aftermarket or future versions of the bike, preferably something that I could do to mine. First off, you'll notice I've got a seat pad on here. It's about a 2.5 hour ride home from the dealership that I bought this from, and about an hour and 20 minutes into the ride, my butt was definitely requiring me to shift back and forth from the regular rider's seat position to a standing position and then to back where the passenger position is. So I ordered this $17 Mad Dog seat pad here from Amazon, and so far that's helped out quite a bit. It doesn't look like much, but it seems to work pretty well. So that's number one. When there's a good aftermarket seat comes out, I probably will be looking at that. Number two, these tires are fine for the road. I haven't had any trouble on paved roads or dirt roads, but I think when I replace these tires, I'm going to go with something a bit more aggressive, a little closer to what they put on the KLR, since I'm doing a lot of county road and Forest Service road riding. And then my next kind of gripe is, clearly this is not as armored up. Well, it's not armored at all, especially relative to like the KLR. I'm hoping that at some point an aftermarket skid plate will come out for the front of this bike. If it doesn't, eventually I'll probably see if I can get somebody to manufacture one for me. I don't intend to be doing riding where I would need that, but I'd rather have it and not need it. Okay, so on to a little bit more about the bike. I've been having a lot of fun riding this thing. My last bike was a Harley Davidson Heritage Softail. This is clearly a big change from that. I love the Softail, don't get me wrong, but I don't have time to go ride across the country. I do have time to buzz out after work, when it's a nice sunny afternoon, and head up some Forest Service roads that I haven't been able to get up before. And this bike excels at that. It's also fantastic for commuting to and from work when it's not raining too much. It's not broken in yet, but on the way home from Spokane, on the first 2.5 hours, that first tank I got 59 miles to the gallon. Other tanks I've gotten right around 60. This last tank, I was up in the woods kind of putting around at anywhere from 25 to 45 miles an hour. That tank was 65. So I'm expecting to do pretty well once the bike is broken in. The 12-volt lighter adapter that I've ordered with this is not available yet. I ordered an engine guard, which again is not available, and then some luggage for the rear. I'm starting off with the top case, and then we'll see what I want to do about saddlebags. Get my finger out of the way. So there's the bike. I've got 374 miles on it, and kind of cycle through the displays here. Let's go ahead and start it up. It's in neutral. Starts up nice. The fuel injection's pretty nice. That's something I'm pretty sure the KLR owners are going to wish they had. Gear indicator. Clock can be set for 12 or 24 hours. I've set it for 24-hour time. The ABS indicator will go off in a few moments. And also, so you can switch, there's 2.2 miles on this tank, which you can see is still full. Temperature gauge is right down at the bottom. And then back to the 374 actual miles. This 63.7 is the calculated average so far that I've got, and that's pretty close to what my my actual math comes out to. I track gas mileage on all my vehicles. The range indicator, once the bike's moving, it'll calculate that. It kind of keeps that up to date. Roughly 270 miles is what it usually reads on a full tank. I'm guessing it could go a little farther than that on the 4.5 gallon tank. And then this is your instant mileage, which is kind of fun to watch. When I'm out riding, that's fluctuated anywhere from 40, about as low as I've seen it go, going up some hills, to over a couple hundred miles coming back down those hills. So fuel economy on this thing isn't bad. I like the display. It's fun. The mirrors are nice. The fairing on the front, surprisingly, on my way home, I found that I had very little. Well, let me back up and tell you that it was raining off and on. So we had some sun like that and clouds like that, and every once in a while we'd have a downpour. And that little windshield and the fairing kept the bulk of the rain off of me. I really didn't have to clean my helmet visor at all. My feet did get a little bit wet, but that's riding. What else can I tell you? It's overall, I think, not a bad looking bike. It took me a little while to get used to that compared to the Harley look. It comes right now in two different color schemes in the US. There's the graphite and black, which is what I've got. And then there's the candy lime green and black, the traditional Kawasaki colors. And they both look pretty good. The user's manual is pretty simple. There's the brake cylinder or brake fluid oil down there. And then I may adjust the suspension just a little bit. It's a little bit stiffer than it needs to be, I think, at this point, but I'm leaving it alone until I get used to the bike and kind of see what sort of riding I'm going to do. So that's it for the moment. All right, I also forgot to mention a little bit about the number of revolutions this thing is turning. Going down the road at 60 miles an hour, it's turning about 7,000 RPM. The KLR that my friend rides is turning around 5 to 6 at that same speed. So this has definitely got a little bit lower gearing. This also has a 6-speed transmission as opposed to a 5-speed, so we can kind of get away with that. A lot of the roads that I've been riding on, I'm able to run in 3rd and 4th gear. In fact, on the smoother dirt roads, a lot of times I'm up into 6 because the manual recommends actually you hit 6th gear at 35 miles an hour, about 4,000 RPM. That's fine on a flat road. You're going to want to shift down to 5th at those speeds if you're going to want to get a little bit of power quickly, or if you're going to go up any type of hill.